Welcome back, everybody, to day 8 of learning SQL. We are back at it again. We're going to be talking about inserting data into a table, as well as inserting data from one table into another table. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you two tables today that we currently have. We have our active members and our inactive members. So if we go ahead and select everything from our active members table, you will see that we have two members here, Adam Scott and Jake Adams. And in this table, we have a member ID, which is a primary key. And then we have our first name and our last name. And when I created this table, I set constraints that we had to have both a first name and last name. Both of these columns had to be not null in order to insert someone into this table. Now, if we take a look at our inactive table, I'll just go ahead and run this real quick. We have one inactive member who has not visited our store in a long time. His name is Josh Smith, and so he's in our inactive table. So let's go ahead and say, go back to our active table here, active members. Let's say we want to add a new active member to the table. So how would we do that? Well, we can start by saying insert into active members. And then what we can do is we can specify the columns that we're going to insert. Now we have to make sure that we follow the constraints of the table to make sure that we can insert in a new member without getting an error message. So for our particular example here, we just have to make sure that our member has a first name and a last name. Now when we insert into a table, we can keep in mind that our primary key, which is this mem ID, is of the serial data type, meaning that it's automatically going to go to the next increment of the members. So it will be member ID 3, and we do not have to provide that information. It's going to do that automatically because of that serial data type. So all we can do is go ahead and say that we're going to provide a first name and a last name. So we're going to provide a first name and a last name, and then we can go ahead and define the values that we're going to provide. So we'll go ahead and say Logan, and for the first name, Logan for the first name, and then we'll say Jones, Jones for the last name. We go ahead and run this. We can see that it went successfully. And let's go ahead and once again, select everything from our active members table, run this. And now you can see with memID 3, we have Logan Jones. So perfect, we inserted into the table. Now let's say that we wanted to insert from our inactive table, Josh Smith. Let's say that Josh Smith has recently come into our store and made a purchase. He's now an active member once again. How could we take Josh Smith's information and insert it into our active table? So let's go ahead and do that right now. So we're going to go ahead and say, once again, insert into, I'm going to say active members, because we're wanting to put Josh Smith into our active members table. And we're going to say the columns that we're going to be inserting in, which is once again going to be first name and last name. And from here, we need to select the columns from the table that we're going to copy from. So let's go ahead and do a select statement. We're going to select first name, first name, and we're going to select last name from the inactive members table. And let's say that we only want to target specifically Josh Smith here. So what we're going to say is where memID equals 1. So if there were 50 people in this table, but we only wanted to move Josh Smith, we would just need to add a where statement here to say where memID equals 1. So we'll go ahead and run this. And it looks like we have a little bit of a spelling error here. Let's see what we have. Yep, let's go ahead and run this. And you can see it went successfully. So let's go ahead and select everything from our active member table. Run this, active members. Once again, okay, here we go. As you can see, Josh Smith was added to the active members table. So there you go. That's how you insert data into a table and insert data from another table into a table. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Catch us back tomorrow for day 9.